What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with some breaking Cleveland Cavaliers free agency news for you guys. And it's official. Aside from a few new faces, that being the rookie Jalen Tyson, and then JT Thor and Luke Travers, who are on two-way deals, the Cavaliers have pretty much ran it all the way back from last year. As just a little while ago, Cavaliers officially locked up Isaac Okoro long term as Woj broke the news on Twitter. Here's the tweet, and I quote: restricted free agent forward Isaac Okoro has agreed on a 3-year, $38 million deal to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Michael Tellum, Jeff Schwartz, and Marcus Monk of at Excel Basketball tell ESPN. Okoro, the fifth overall pick in 2020, averaged 9.4 points a season ago. His offensive game has greatly improved over the past year or so. And now we get to see what he can do with an actual, good coach running things, right? Not a bald bozo like Bickerstaff. Like, Kenny Atkinson can actually operate an offense. He can actually call plays and stuff. He knows what he's doing. That's gonna be weird, man. Not having a coach that spends half the time barking at the refs with his arms crossed. No, Kenny Atkinson can actually operate an offense. Like, he can call good plays. I'm pretty sure he can call plays out of timeouts, which is something I'm pretty sure JB couldn't do. That's gonna be even weirder, right? Seeing the Cavs actually call a play that works out of a timeout, right? But yeah, can't wait to see what this coaching staff can do with this roster, because it's pretty clear that Kobe Altman thought last year's failures wasn't on the roster. It was on health and coaching. Yeah. He's blaming last year on health and coaching. Otherwise, there'd be a massive shakeup with the roster. I mean, literally, the only guys that are new to this roster heading into this season are the rookie Jalen Tyson, and then JT Thor and Luke Travers, who's technically drafted by the Cavs, but he's coming over from Australia. So I don't know how much of those guys we're going to see. Probably not much. Maybe every once in a while, like in blowouts and stuff. But yeah, we're not going to see them too much until later in the year when we have to sign guys that we want to use in the playoffs to guaranteed contracts, like we did with Porter Jr. last year. Speaking of which, I expect a lot out of CPJ this year for sure. And maybe we can get more than 2 games out of Ty Jerome. Right? That'd be cool. But here's some more stuff from Woj on Okoro, as he also tweeted this out, and I quote: Okoro, who has started 216 games in his 4 seasons with the Cavs, returns to the core of an Eastern Conference contender, and his deal completes a productive franchise offseason of retaining and extending their key players. It's pretty clear that was their objective. Like, they did not even really try to add anybody from outside the organization. I only heard them being interested in maybe 1 or 2 guys. That's it. That was like way back when free agency started. I hadn't heard a thing about them actually looking to add other players. They focused solely on bringing back the roster from last year. Because, like I said, Kobe Altman essentially blamed last year's failures on health and coaching. So if this falls on its face, I expect the Cavs to shake things up by the deadline, for sure. And then finally, Woj added this little piece, and I quote: Okoro's return solidifies a key defensive anchor for Cleveland and gives him a chance to make a run with a franchise that he's grown up with now in the NBA. Yeah, Okoro is definitely one of the better defenders, and I'm glad we brought him back. I know there was a lot of talks about us possibly trading him, but it's pretty clear nothing really happened with those talks. So at least, we brought back our core pieces, right? Just like with the Guardians, if you're not going to sign any free agents, at least extend your guys. That's exactly what we did. So good stuff, Kobe. Hey, you can go celebrate by drinking more brewskis. God, that joke is still going around. I know it, man. Luckily, the Lakers pretty much did nothing as well. Otherwise, we might have been looked at as the quietest team in the offseason. We practically did nothing, like legit. Now, looking at Okoro's stats, not even bad. 69 games, nice. 9.4 points, 3 total rebounds, 2 assists, shot 49% from the field, 39% from three. Yeah, his three ball has been getting better and better the last couple of years. In fact, what was it? Since January 1st of what, 2 years ago, I want to say? He's really been lighting it up from three. Much better stuff. Love to see it. Especially in the corner. That's his spot, in the corner. Yeah. And then 70% from the free throw line and an EFG percentage of 58 if you round up. His per is 11.4 and win shares of 4.2. So overall, not bad at all. And of course, the best part about him is his defense. And he's still relatively young, right? He'll be turning 24 in January. So, yeah, he's still got some growing to do when it comes to his game and stuff. He's going to get better, especially with an actual competent offensive coach running things and not a bald bozo like Bickerstaff. You know, now again, looking at the roster for the Cavs, they do have one empty roster spot, but the Cavs usually carry one open spot just in case something happens. But maybe they do sign somebody. They could use a backup big man because all they really have is JT Thor. Maybe they sign like a backup big man or something. I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But if I had to guess, they're probably just going to leave that spot open just in case for emergencies. But yeah, the starting five, I mean, you have Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. Solid. Then the bench. This is what worried me last year, and it looks like I'll be worried about it again because Niang, Levert, Jerome, Merrill, Porter Jr. need them to contribute. We'll see what Wade and Okoro and Thompson give us. And then, of course, you got the new guy, Jalen Tyson. That's the only new guy on the everyday roster. Not talking about two-way guys, of course, but we'll see what Jalen Tyson can give us. Maybe he turns into that dog that a lot of Cavs fans think he can be. So that's really all I got. Isaac Okoro is back with the Cavs, just like a lot of Cavs fans expected. I mean, as the weeks went on, it's like the possibility of a trade just kind of went down the toilet. And now he is back in Cleveland, and we'll see what this team does. Like I said, though, if things ain't looking good, I expect this team to shake it up a bit at the deadline. At least I hope they do, because if this team is starting to stank and they leave it as is, oh my God, bro. What is Kobe doing? Brewski's down, bro, and get to work. Oh my God. Kobe is either being extremely unserious or he's actually a low key genius. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So, yes. With that being said, that's all I got. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it, I think, for Cavs off-season videos. I mean, unless they make a trade, which they could still do. I don't know who the heck they would trade, but if they were to make a trade, it'd probably be a small one. But you never know, right? No one saw that Spider trade coming. But you know how Kobe is with his draft picks. My dude hugs them things like nobody's business. He hoards them, right? He hoards those draft picks. Crazy. Like, it's almost like those kids when they go to those Chuck E. Cheese's, right? Remember those? And they get those tickets, right? They just be collecting them. Like, does Kobe expect to like get a prize if he collects enough draft picks or something? Like, You don't have to use the draft picks on players. You could trade them, right? Like, come on. Just better not hesitate if things start going awry with this team. That's all I'm going to say. Because Dan Gilbert kept him around. He could have easily let his ass go, but he's putting faith in him. That's for sure. I just hope that ever since he got that extension, he's just not going to go lackadaisical. He's got to still be aggressive because Dan Gilbert could fire him as quickly as anything. Knowing Dan, I know he's had health problems, but he could still be that trigger happy freaking GM that will pull the trigger and fire your ass if you're not keeping up with the winning, right? Keeping this team competitive, right? But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna get back to watching college football. I got Memphis and Florida State on the TV right now. 20-12, Memphis over the Knowles. 4:28 to go in the game. Uh-oh, Florida State's in danger. We'll see what happens. But with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Cavs. And the season's almost here. What are we, about a month away from things popping off? I think training camp starts in a few weeks around there, and then preseason will be here. And then, here's another thing. Haven't even heard about the Cavs signing guys to training camp deals. I'm sure we might sign a few guys. Probably won't be any big names, but who knows? So we'll see what happens. And again, I'm going to get back to watching some college football. Have a good rest of your day. And I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Cavs. See you guys tomorrow for Browns and Jags. Oh, yeah. I'm out. Bye bye.